Hey, good evening, fellow metallurgists. I hope you're all doing well tonight. Welcome to another episode of our Tuesday Quick Blast. We're doing album of the day today. We skipped last week because it was just super busy. Um, Thought it was an okay day today to knock out one of these. What have you been spinning album of the day type situations? And Alan, how are you today, my friend?
Doing all right. Just tending to lots of stuff, but it's summer. It's hot. Took the little one out to the big water park locally today, so chased him all over the water slides and all that kind of
Awesome.
stuff. We had a good time. Got to go with he got to meet a couple of his friends there too, so that made it more fun that he had a good group of kids to hang out with, and yep, just have fun playing in the water.
Nice, nice. Well, it's finally cooled off a bit here after that massive heat wave rolled through, and taking a couple days back into it tomorrow. And today was a good day for this. It just worked out perfect.
Good deal. Yep.
Um, any loose tomorrow night we will be doing our album club, and we'll be doing Dark Angels Time Does Not Heal. So for those of you that may not have known that, contribute in the chat to the discussion. And Friday, we don't know what's going on quite yet, but there'll be something. And
yeah, begin your homework for tomorrow early, because as the famous tagline goes, that Dark Angel album has 9 songs, 67 minutes, and 246 riffs. That's literally what they had on the promo sticker, if I remember correctly.
God, 4 or 5 albums worth of riffs. It's crazy.
It'll take you a little while to chew on that one tonight or tomorrow. And yes, there'll be something cool for Friday night. It's just that time of year where a lot of people are trying to do vacation stuff, or tied up with work, or tied up with family. So sorry we don't have as much advance notice for the last couple of Friday nights, but there'll be something fun one way or the other, as there always is.
Yes, sir. So tonight, why don't you start off? What is your album of the day? What have you been spinning?
I have been spinning a lot of weird stuff lately, very kind of back and forth. The other day, I caught myself doing a back-to-back spin of, let's see, we started with Kate Bush's Hounds of Love and rolled right into Entombed's Left-Hand Path. They were literally back-to-back in the CD player, so that was a little jarring, but yeah. But neither of those is my album of the day. I picked this one, which has been getting a lot of spins. It is Metal Church's second album, The Dark.
Such a great record.
It really, really is. It's their second album, their major label debut on Elektra. This one I've always felt like gets a bit overshadowed by the debut. The debut is a great album, but folks put that one on such a high pedestal that some of the other ones in the Metal Church catalog don't really get as much recognition as they ought to. And this is just an excellent album. David Wayne sounds really good and angry throughout it. Great playing throughout. The first 6 songs on this are just banger after banger after banger. Good. Yeah, the opening 1-2 punch, Ton of Bricks and Start the Fire. I love that 1-2 combination at side A. Instantly fell in love with the album just before I even got to track 3. I knew the album would be awesome.
That little pre-chorus that leads up to the chorus and Start the Fire is so good. His vocals are just so on point and soaring and awesome, and little out of character for him. He's actually singing his ass off on this instead of just kind of like talk screaming or whatever the hell he did. But awesome, great record.
Very good stuff. Yeah, Method to Your Madness is an interesting one because it's a pretty good song, and lyrically it kind of questions people having to go to war and getting fucked up psychologically because of it. It's one of their kind of more thoughtful songs lyrically. If Metal Church did have kind of a weak spot, it probably was in their lyrics. When you sit down and read through the lyrics to a lot of the songs, they're not really they don't always come together that great. Sometimes they're just simple and cool, but other times it's just kind of like I think you guys kind of lost the plot here a little bit between verse number 1 and verse number 2. But Method to Your Madness had a cool set of lyrics. But yeah, Where the Children plays, the cool doomy slower one, kind of a little reminiscent of Welcome Home Sanitarium on that. Over My Dead Body is a really good aggressive one. The Dark is a great track.
Yep.
Yeah, really, side B is a little weaker for me. If this album has a weak spot, you get into side B. Psycho and Line of Death always tend to just kind of glide past for me, but then you get to Burial at Sea, excellent track. And Western Alliance is another kind of good example of what I was just talking about, where it's meant to be kind of a World War II song, but when you start reading through the lyrics, it's kind of like something something Führer, Western countries unite, something something. Not exactly Martin Walker level lyrics going on here, but nevertheless, it's an absolute really strong, ferocious, and it's just a good, solid heavy metal album. It's not a thrash album. People always kind of wanted to mislabel this band as thrash, but they never really were a thrash unit. It just falls, in that sweet spot of really strong, straightforward mid 80s heavy metal excellence. And of course, after this, they switched vocalists. Mike Howe was in, and things went, down to a slightly different path. Although I still think, those next two albums at least were still really good. Metal Church, across the first four albums at a bare minimum, were a great band. I didn't hear a lot of the later stuff after they broke up and came back together. But yeah,
there's some good ones. There's some good albums. The last two were really, really good albums.
Yeah, I've always heard that there were some good ones, but that there's also some kind of mediocre ones, mixed in there. And I just have never sat down and teased them apart and given them a listen. But sooner or later I will. So that is my pick of the day. I've been noticing folks having some really cool picks in the chat.
Brian asked if any fans of Wayne's solo album confusedly titled Metal Church. I don't know if I've ever heard that.
I've seen it, but I've never heard it. So sorry, Brian, I can't offer anything up about that.
Warlock. I mean, there's been some cool ones in here for sure.
Mm-hmm. Chris Barker, Pink Floyd, The Wall. I like The Wall, but I have to be in the right mood to listen to it.
Classic rock radio kind of killed that, but if you listen to the whole thing, it's still a good record.
Marty has heard me rant about this. I like Pink Floyd, a lot of Pink Floyd material, except when it's on FM radio. It drives me nuts when they play that on FM radio, because I listen to it when I'm driving, and Pink Floyd's the kind of thing that just makes you start to fall asleep and veer off the road. And that is not what I want to do.
No.
Going down the interstate, trying to get home or get to work. And, there's like, hello, is anybody in there? And just like, you can hear that little beeping going off telling you that you're already, riding the rumble strip. Just like, God damn it, change it to something that'll wake me up. Do not play Pink Floyd, during rush hour. If you are a, radio DJ out there, stop doing that. You're killing people left and right.
The blood is on your hands.
Yes. You're responsible for thousands of deaths across the roads of America because you won't stop playing Dark Side of the Moon while we're trying to get to work at 7:30 in the morning.
Right. Well, all right.
All right, Marty, I do believe it is your turn, sir.
Well, my pick for the day is kind of strange in comparison to what I've been listening to. I've fallen back into a long overdue, pretty heavy-handed black metal run here, but I had a cassette deck die in my shop. Went to the local store, bought a refurbished Denon deck. Hopefully this one won't be a piece of shit like they all seem to be, but this is just one of the tapes I threw in, and I listened to it 4 times today. It's just one of those things. It's such the antithesis to what I've been listening to. It's fun. It came out August 9th, 1986, and this is probably a little out of character. People are probably going to roll their eyes. Don't care. There's no guilty pleasures. You like what you like. Rat, Dancing Under Cover. Holy crap, man. This is a fun fucking record. I mean, I love Invasion of Your Privacy. That's probably my favorite Rat record. This is a close second. I mean, everybody's like, oh, Out of the Cellar, Out of the Cellar. Great album as well. I think I'm just a little tired of the hits on that one. This is just a fun record. And this is one of those bands that, as I've gotten older, during the hair metal era, I detested that shit. I detested it. And, watching MTV and having it rammed down your throat all day long. Rat is one of those bands that was kind of lumped in with the hair metal shit, and they kind of looked the part, but their music just was always a little bit more, I don't know, just kind of hard. They kind of like fit with Tesla in a lot of ways, where it's not really straight up cheese, hair metal type stuff. There's just a really good solid rock foundation.
It went and scared Jurgen away.
Yeah, Jurgen,
Nice job, Marty.
he's shriveling up over there. He's
Come for the metal church, run away quickly for the rat.
I know. I don't care. No shame in this game. I love this shit. And but you know, you got Warren DeMartini. It is a fantastic guitar player. His solos are all fantastic. Yes, the lyrics on this shit is bad. Stephen Pearcy's lyrical. I mean, it's all about girls and shit. And it's kind of embarrassing. A grown ass man is singing about all this stuff all the time. It's a little bit creepy, but I've always loved the guy's voice. He's got just a very distinct voice that isn't pretty or frilly. It's got a dirty grit to it, but it can be melodious. You know, it's like he holds it in the pocket really well. The choruses, of course, these songs are all about the chorus, you know, really good hooky choruses. I have the album as well, and it's not on my for sale list. Okay, well, good. Because it shouldn't. It's an awesome record. But yeah, I mean, this is the follow-up to Invasion of Your Privacy, which is my favorite. I really love the atmosphere on that record. It's really weird. It's got a strange atmosphere. This is very much just as well written. You could tell the band was really, I mean, this is kind of like they're riding this wave of popularity at this point. This album is just very fun. It's just a fun record. It's fun to listen to. It's lighthearted. It's catchy. You know, it's got the air guitar moments where you stop what you're doing and, you know, shred away. It's just the last album by these guys that I really, really, really like. I mean, I'm slowly picking up. I just got the one that came after this on tape here not too long ago. It's okay. It's okay. But it's just not, I mean, Invasion of Your Privacy and Dancing Undercover, kind of like a 1-2 punch of really excellent rock from the 80s. And it's just one of those things that it scratches the itch. And if I'm going to listen to this stuff, it's either Rat or Cinderella or Tesla. But it's more than likely going to be Rat. They're probably my favorite of this whole cabal of hairspray spandex dudes. You know what I mean?
Yep. But out of that group, I would probably have Cinderella first. But yeah, they're in that same kind of company. Frosty has a good comment here. I like this.
Since I reached 50, I often chose fun over dark more often. You know what, dude? I'm with you. And that's weird because I'm in the black metal thing again. I'm really digging the dark right now. For the longest time, it repelled me. I was so pissed off about other things. I didn't want to listen to that music as well. But I'm back into it now. So this is probably why today, this one, like I said, 4 times. It went through the tape deck 4 times today, and it just was fun. And it was kind of nice to shake up. What are Marty's thoughts on Aerosmith? Oh, man. They're one of those bands you could shoot into fucking space. You know, like in the movie Armageddon, I wish it was Aerosmith that went up on the rock that blew up instead of Bruce Willis or whoever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
I hate Aerosmith, and I know people dig it. Everybody's like, oh, the old stuff. Well, I don't even like that, really. Some of it's okay. There's just an aura about that band I've never liked. And then it got real bad when they reunited and fell in favor with the MTV popularity and started writing movie soundtrack hits, and so bad.
Yeah, I've same here. I've tried to get into Aerosmith once or twice, and yes, I bought a couple of the old albums years ago to give them a fair shake, and it's just not for me, not my style.
Yeah,
but I know there's some good guitarists in the band and such, but yeah, I've never been a fan of Steve Tyler's voice, and just their style of songwriting it misses the mark for me. It's not what I'm looking for when I'm looking for music.
Right. Well, sorry to disappoint anybody. You could have easily pulled one of the many black metal titles I've been kind of pining over, but this was a pretty honest, raw listen for today. Like I said, it's pretty much dominated my day, and yeah, good shit. If anybody's got a copy of it on vinyl that doesn't want to rip my head off, I would like to buy it on vinyl. Just saying.
Care to comment on Jackal?
Not a fan.
Yeah, Jackal was marginal even back in the day, and I have found that they haven't really even aged well for me. So
Jackal, I kind of pin their crowd on kind of like the MAGA hat crowd. I don't know. I could be wrong there, but
Mm,
they've played here in this area, and it just kind of it breeds a contingent of rednecks up in this area anyway. That seem to dig that type of stuff. I actually watched a Jackal video, a recent one here a couple weeks ago. It turned up in my feed. I'm like, well, let's see what the fuck Jackal's doing these days, and it was bad. The video was super low rent. It was bad.
hmm.
Like, wow, it's amazing these guys are still kicking it.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard the hits and stuff back in the day, and they were okay. I wouldn't turn them off if they were on the radio, but you hear them now. It's just like, there were a lot of bands that did much better from that era, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, if some folks are into it, they still have a following, so there are folks that dig them, and that's fine.
What are your thoughts on Rat?
Rat, I like Rat. They're not as high up, the ladder for me as for you. I also got in, being a few years younger than you. I don't have the same connection to the earlier Rat albums. The one I tend to like the most is, the one people probably cringe at the most, the Detonator album.
That's actually a good record. I just recently got that. It's good.
It's really fun. But yeah, so yeah, I don't mind the earlier ones, but I'm just young enough where I missed those when they were first coming out, and so by the time I circled back around and heard some of those, I was past the impressionable youth phase where they were going to kind of get embedded in my psyche the way other albums did as a teen.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, good band, but yeah, I don't have them quite as high up that ladder. Cinderella, like I said, is one that I put up there. I love Night Songs. That's a great album. Other bands of that ilk that I like are, again, some of the more obscure ones. I love the first Babylon AD album. That one's really good with Derek singing.
I know you're a Danger guy.
That's a guilty pleasure right there. There's no,
there are no guilty pleasures.
Oh yes, there is, and it's called Screw It, their second album. It has a giant monkey holding a woman in a bikini doing things to a banana. There's no double entendre there. No, Babylon AD is really good. Another band that's very good in that kind of style, House of Lords from the late 80s. Again, they got lumped in with the hair stuff, but they're much more on the hard rock side of things, and they're still around and still put out really good albums. I think the vocalist name is like James Christensen. It's really, really good. Very unique voice. They had the keyboard player from Angel, Dave Garufra. It's one of those Gafria? Yeah.
Is it Gafria? Yeah.
Something. Yeah, I've never known how to pronounce it, but he helped form the band, but only performed like on 1 or 2 albums. But yeah, House of Lords is still going. They were really good in that style. Germany's Bonfire was good in that style. They always got kind of written off as a Scorpions clone, which was I felt a little bit unfair. I think it really was a matter of like, oh, you're German too. What other band do we know from Germany? Scorpions. You must be like Scorpions. Like, not really. Bonfire had a little bit more of an American vibe to them, but yeah, they were good in that style too. So yeah. I'll stop there before we go further and further down that rabbit hole.
Well, this is one of the few. I mean, I've got, of this era and this style, there's 5 bands I can count on one hand, that I'm like, okay, cool. But Rat is a definite nostalgia thing. I was into the heavier stuff too, but while I was listening to Dio and Maiden, Rat seeped in there, and I put the shit on. It's an instant, endorphin kick of nostalgia. And it's fun. It's just fun to listen to.
Yeah. Mike, I've heard Baton Rouge, but it's been a long time ago. So I can't really comment one way or the other. I don't remember enough about them. But yeah, I know the band is, folks still mention Baton Rouge from time to time. So they definitely still get some likes.
I think every band has played your beer fest in the 80s, Jurgen, and you've seen them all. I'm very jealous.
Jurgen lives at the exact epicenter of the heavy metal universe. He's like exactly, 131 minutes or less from everything.
Exactly. And within his area, there's 10 fests a year. Crazy.
Yeah. I agree I can agree with one of those two. I do have a soft spot for Skynyrd when I'm in the mood for it, which isn't all that often, but I don't mind some Skynyrd when the mood strikes me. Aerosmith, that mood will not strike me.
No, and as far as I'm concerned, Skinner could be on the same plane with Aerosmith on the way to space.
You wish the entire band had been on that plane when it crashed. I see.
I'm not going to say that. I don't wish doom upon anyone, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, I like some Skinner. Some Skinner does get played way too much, but they do have some very, very good songs in their catalog. If you dig past the obvious one or two that get played too much.
Freebird is an amazing song. All 57 minutes of it. All 37 solos. But, well, everybody, thanks. This was just a quick run. We're gonna share with you what we've been spending today, and thank you all for joining us. It was fun as always. Thanks for sharing your picks. It's very cool to see what you've all been spinning. We will oh, here we go. Jurgen's going to do an explanation video on my area. I would think that would be a lot of fun. Absolutely. And Jurgen just did a Steam Hammer SPV video here the other day. Everybody go check it out. Go check out Metal Mickey's channel. Who else is on here?
Brian Arkham has something cool coming up with Kellen this weekend, I believe. Kellen just posted something a little while ago announcing that him and Brian have something cool coming up. So
they'll be on the Killing for Company channel. Killing for Company.
Keep an eye out for details on that this weekend. Absolutely.
I think we got everybody here. I think Christopher Barker said he has a channel. I don't know if I've subscribed to you, man. Is it under Christopher Barker? If so, I will check it out. I might be subscribed.
Yeah, I will too. I don't. I maybe, but I'm not recalling. I do forget sometimes.
And Alan, did you drop a video today?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did.
Okay,
as promised.
I have not been on. I will have to go.
Oh, you know what it is if you think back to Friday night.
Yep, running wild thing. Yes.
Yes, it is there, and people have had a lot of fun with it. It's had a ton of comments this afternoon, so I'm glad people had fun, and I'm glad people seem to have taken it in the right context. Was this is me sort of ranting about something that is highly unimportant, but I am ranting with facts to try to prove a point that doesn't matter one iota in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, thanks to everybody who's been checking out that and left a comment. There's been a lot of good points in the discussion about stuff.
So I'll be doing that after this. And also Jurgen is mentioning our friend Aaron over at the Metal Theologian has a stream later on tonight. So everybody go to the Metal Theologian, check that out. I don't know what he's going to be doing, but it's going to be fun.
Yep. There's all kinds of good stuff lately. I'm pretty sure Metal Mickey had a video within the past couple of days too. I may be incorrect, but he's always got fun stuff on his channel as well, if we didn't mention that earlier.
Yep, absolutely. A lot of good stuff. He always does the Metal Hammer read-throughs too, which is always kind of a fun little blast from the past.
Yep. Yeah. Global, thank you. And you I liked your the comment you left to Global. That was a well thought out point you made. I liked it.
Global Institute of Metal. Do you have a channel? I am not aware of it. If you do, that's cool. But anyway, thank you, everybody.
Yes, I did, Brian. Yes, I did. Actually, it's probably more of a get on my pirate ship kind of moment in a way. But yep, it's time for us to call it an evening.
Yes, friends. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow night with Jim from IWAS Recordings as usual. We will be talking about, again, Time Does Not Heal by Dark Angel. And we'll have our metal protractors out and our abacus, and we will fact check just how many riffs are actually on that record. So anyway, thank you, everybody. We will see you tomorrow night. You take care. Have a good evening. And...
Bark!